got to play Retrograde. Now, this is a roll and write dice rolling.
Yeah, it's a rapid dice rolling game, though, as opposed to the standard roll and write where everybody has common dice that you share.
Mm-hmm. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. All right, so Randy, tell us a little bit more about this game.
So, Retrograde is a 2023 release. It currently is so new it doesn't have a Board Game Geek rating or rank yet. It's a 1 to 4 player game. Average length of 25 to 35 minutes. That might be a little long. It's actually a pretty quick game. Yeah. Age 8 and up. Designed by Mary Flanagan and Max Seidman. Art is by Anne Sophie Destur and Spring Yu. Published by Resonym. It's got an MSRP of $29.99. Card House has it the cheapest that I've seen for $21.89. Miniature Market was right there with it at $21.99. And adding on Boardlandia, because we've had a few people mention pricing from them, it sounded like it was in line or cheaper in some cases. So Boardlandia was $22.96, so it was the highest of the three I had checked.
Quality components. You have actually pretty unique dice, right? So this is specific to the game.
Custom dice with they look like Space Invaders.
And very colorful sheets.
Well, you get a 100-sheet pad.
And then you do get decks of cards. They are not linen finished, but they're actually pretty good thickness. So that was pretty good. You also get these markers, which aren't really necessary, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you could use any kind of pen.
Yeah, I mean, but it works out because you do need something pretty dark and heavy, though, because of the color of the pad. Because of the color of the pad. Overall, I mean, it's a roll and write. There's not a lot here. I'm going to give it a 6 because of the custom dice.
Yeah, I mean, the cards are nice. They don't have a lead finish, but they only need to have one.
Well, and they're good thickness. So
yeah, they're decent thickness. So, yeah, I think 6 is fair.
Okay.
I'll do a 6.5.
Okay, cool.
All right, okay.
All right, so now let's move on to the theme. So the theme is that you are playing
Space Invaders, basically. It's a classic arcade game of alien shooting.
Yes, and so that's the theme. You actually got a little, you got your little...
Yep, although in this, you can actually get power-ups, which is unique, because you don't have that in Space Invaders, but some of the other games like Galaga and such used to have it. So I think it's just trying to capture the essence of the old classic shooter space games. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's pretty cool. And I think the color palette really lent in with that. I think they did a good job there. The little aliens, I think they did... it feels very, it wasn't my time, but it definitely feels kind of retro.
Yeah.
Okay, it was my time. Let's just say it.
We love you. Mm-hmm. But overall, theme-wise, what do you guys score it?
Well, the only complaint I had on the theme was when I was rolling in, it's probably our dim lighting, the red and the pink, it was hard to differentiate when you're rapid fire rolling. So I was, a couple of times I messed up and grabbed the dice.
Well, I mean, one's a strawberry and one's a controller.
Yeah, they're not that much different, though. When you're rapid rolling, it's hard to tell the difference.
I got difference from red and orange.
You had trouble with red and orange? So they're a little close, some of them. So yeah, I would like to see them be a little bit brighter on the dice. But
like the red is not a very decent red.
Yeah.
It's more of a brown.
They kind of blend together, especially in the lighting we have, kind of dim lighting while we're playing.
So score it, though.
I still think it's a fun theme. I like we got the, previous roll and write we had, which was a pinball machine, and now we've got an arcade machine, so it's, captures going to the arcades now a little bit, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I like the theme. I'll probably go ahead and give it a 7. I think it's a fun theme. It's completely layered on. It's superficial to the roll and write, but it brings back nostalgic memories.
I don't know about that because you are shooting and you have to kind of do them in a column adjacent. I mean, I think there's a little bit there. I mean, I agree with you. 7's a fine score. What about you?
I would do a 7.9.
7.9.
Nice.
All right.
7.9.
Well, I've been thinking about it. I really like the detail. Especially for kids because it's 8 and up.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be fun for kids because it's on arcades like you said. So I think this is a cute game.
So Randy, can you tell us about the rulebook? What did you think of it overall?
So the rulebook, first of all, it was a
you hate
multifold.
Those. You hate those so much.
It's more than a centerfold. It's a multifold. But yeah, I don't care for that. But as far as the actual read, it was a very simple read. Once I figured out, because like I opened it up and there's like an example, but it splays across 3 of the pages. But you know, it's a pretty straightforward game. It took a minute to grasp that some of the rolling, the fact that you're rolling rapidly, and that how it works when the other people grab their cards and different things like that, which we'll get into with gameplay. But it wasn't hard to understand, and the example helped explain it all. And then there's, you know, a few quirks about that. One thing I didn't like is that they have an FAQ at the end, and it seemed to be the first place, at least that I noticed, where it mentioned that you had to shoot the ones adjacent to each other. Why they didn't put that into the gameplay section, you know, when they're explaining that, as opposed to waiting until the end of the FAQ to explain it. You know, it seemed odd to have it there, because it's got a section on blasting droids, and it says you can basically pair your dice to blast the droids, but it doesn't mention they have to be adjacent to one another during that section. So it was kind of an odd choice. But other than that, I mean, I think it does a pretty decent job. You know, I'll give it a 7.
All right, so now let's move on to the actual gameplay. So the gameplay starts as everyone has their own 6 dice. I got an extra one in the middle of the game, so I'll put my extra one away. All right, and then we're going to flip over the 4 cards.
Well, it depends on player count.
Right.
But you have one more than the number of players.
All right, so basically, and then everyone at the start of go will immediately start rolling their dice, okay? And then you're going to decide what you kind of want.
And you have to match what's on the cards, because if you get dice like I just rolled, where you get a bunch of 2s, which are not pictured on any of the cards, it's not really useful.
Nope. That was the red one. Okay. You can pick out your dice this year.
Oh no! That once 2 people, once all but one person has their cards, the other one has to.
No, not okay.
I'm sorry. You've got to roll 2 more times.
Now I have to roll all my dice again.
Oh, you're gonna have to roll them all?
Yeah, I can't use yellow.
Oh, you need green and yellow.
Oh no, I can't even do yellow and green, so I'm not.
Well,
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're using an old sheet.
Oh no, I can do this.
Okay.
Okay, so in other words, I am gonna roll this one roll this twice. There, perfect. Okay, so now I have 6. Perfect. So I get to kill 2 of anything. All right. So, so now everyone's got their cards, and then so based on their cards, they get to decide for every 2 dice that they spend of the same color, they get to kill that one.
But it has to be ones pictured on your card. So in this case, I have the red 5 and the green 4. And that's based on the eye count. I thought that was neat that they put the eye count being the dice count.
Okay, so everyone's going to get their card. They have their card, and they're going to decide how they're going to lay out their dice. So in this instant, I have, because I didn't have either one of these colors, nor do I need them because I'm using an older thing, I'm going to use this once, which is the 3 times of that is that color. I can't do anything else with it. Tough luck. Now, Sarah, on the other hand, she has a couple of options. She can, she's got 2 green, or she can, she's going to put 3 of her pink. Even though she could trigger the pink, she's decided to get rid of any one. Now, they still have to be adjacent.
Yeah, it has to be adjacent to the green, but it can be, adjacent can count diagonal in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, it does count diagonal?
Yes.
Well, I've been making it harder on myself.
And I got 4 reds, so I can kill 2 reds. Now, one of the neat things I found about this board map, which we didn't realize until after we started playing, is every one of these sheets is distinct combinations. So each player is going to have a different configuration of where their aliens are arranged on their board. So it's important before you start rolling to look at your configuration, because you might cut yourself off from adjacency. And it can't be adjacent to previous kills. It has to be adjacent to your first roll. So whatever you use to kill on the first roll, it can be anywhere on your sheet. But after that, it has to be adjacent to the one you just killed. So you can't chain off of like historically killed ones from previous rounds. Yeah. And that was a unique aspect to this game.
Yeah.
And a painful one.
Yeah. All right. So basically, you complete that twin until you run out of the deck of cards, and then you trigger the scoring
which is
round.
8 rounds.
Yeah. Which the scoring round is basically you get a point for every alien that you kill, 3 for the bosses. You get the bosses when you do the whole column, excluding the boss, and then the boss dies. And then for the trophies. So basically, I had 3 dice that I could not use. Now, they are 5 eyes, so I only have 1 of the 5 trophies, but I can use to trigger that. The other thing we didn't talk about is coins. So if I were to get this card, I have this coin here. So I could put down the coin down here, but if I choose to use it, I can say, all right, well, I need, I have 1 die, but I need a second one, so I could use my coin to duplicate
in a
that
subsequent
dice.
round.
Yeah.
And then there's also power-ups. So like this one has a power-up on the card, and whenever I complete it, if I complete a whole row, or if I already have a whole row completed, I can put this into play, and I will get this ongoing effect from now on. In this case, it's once unlocked, coins copy an extra time. So when I use a coin, instead of it counting once, it counts as twice.
So that can be super useful.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought this was a little fun, little short roll and write.
Yeah.
I think that Sarah is able to play it. Sarah, what did you think? Did you have a lot of fun? Is this something that you would want to play again?
This is like
Super Make a Lucky Boss?
Yeah, there it is. I really like that one too.
Yeah, so
this is somewhat like it.
It's easy like Super Make a Lucky Box, but the gameplay is totally different. This is
totally different.
There's no dice in that. You're just flipping a card. And in this case, everybody's rapid rolling, which I like that. It adds kind of the fever of playing at the arcade of trying to rush.
Well, and but it also reminds me of Galaxy Trucker a little bit. And we both like that game because it is space themed and it.
Yeah. Now, Rob, on the other hand, probably won't like this game as well because of that.
Yeah. I always like it when I can time you out. There's not a lot of strategy, but I mean, it is fun to roll and try to make sure you get what you need.
No, but I really like this. I like how the coin part. I love all of it.
Oh, I'm glad that you really. So, what did you think about score wise? What do you want to give it as a score?
I would probably give it a 9.
A 9. Ooh,
wow.
You really liked it. Well, again, I thought it was a lot of fun, and I thought it was a cute little roll and write. I think this definitely has a place. I'm probably going to give this a 7.5. What do you think?
I'm probably right there with you. I think I'll give it a 7.5 because I think it is a fun filler, and it was meatier than I expected it to be with having the power-ups and such in it. So I thought that was cool. And what I liked about this one that was different because the pinball one when we played it, it was basically solo play. I mean, I finished and got my pinballs were all wasted. I had to wait for Rob to finish for about 30 minutes for him to finish playing his pinball machine because he was doing much better than I was. This one, we're all on the same timer, so you don't have to wait. So it's not a solo game in essence. This one is actually a competitive game. So I like this one better, I think. So I'll probably give it a 7.5 for that reason, and it's quick.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast tonight. Hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
Bye.